Hey guys, what is up? And today I am going to be showing you how to play some Iron Strike. Now, Iron Strike is a completely free VR game on the MetaQuest 3. So, when you first get the game, you'll spawn in right here after a small little tutorial. You won't have these guys unlocked, but I'll get to these guys in a second. So, when you very first spawn in for the very first time, you're going to run up to her, and you could speak to her, but she'll just say, "Yes, child." And then it'll let you talk to her like that. Now, if you want to start a match, you can go over here and take your trigger finger, hover over here, and then it'll let you play. Now, just if you click play, it's just a public game, so other people will be playing with you. Private match is only if you want to play you by your with your friends, and solos you play alone altogether. Now, the second person you will unlock is the snake. Now, if we get over here, the snake is lighting up green. It lets you choose out all of your outfits and stuff. Now, if you click up here, it'll take you to different types of stuff. So I can get different types of helmets. See, I can even get different types of accents like that. So what you want to do after that, like after you choose out all of your stuff, is you can go ahead and start a match. But first, before you do that, you can come over here after playing a few matches, and you can start upgrading all of your stuff with these crystals that you'll get off of each round. This guy, I don't know what he fully does yet. This just looks like challenges. So, and the way you dash, like I just did, is you take your right Joy-Con and you press forward on it without moving. And see that line or that blue circle with arrows in it? You release where you want to go, and once it's ready, it'll light up blue. But if it's not, it'll turn red, just like that. Now, we're going to go ahead and start a match. So we'll go over here, click play solo. It'll only take like a few seconds to do. And then once you're done, you'll come over here and choose your skill set. I typically play with bow, but I find sword and melee pretty fun to play. Now, depending on how you like to play, if you kind of want to like live longer, you can choose sword and shield. It gives you way more easier time blocking, but the more hits that your shield takes, the smaller the shield gets. See, I've never played with the glaive or the fang blade. Actually, yes, because tutorial you play with fang blade. It is a two-handed based weapon that just looks like a spear. I haven't really used that yet, but once you choose a weapon, which you can do by pointing at it and then holding down the trigger button. Once you're done choosing your weapons, you walk over here into this black circle right here. And then you'll spawn in just like this. And every single weapon in here has different traits and a different starting area. If you're playing public, it's kind of random. And there's random bosses every single time. So, but the gameplay and fighting in this is actually really cool, which I'll get to in a second. Because these are the enemies. Those are projectiles. These red things, if you hit them, they do extra damage than what you're supposed to do. And the more you block, if you see that blue line above their head right there, that's how long it's going to take for them to spawn again for you to do more damage. And if you block, or if you manage to defuse their sword, which you could do by like hitting it, it can give you more of those red lines. And then the stuff above it is its health. Our health is right there, as you could see. Dashing is really helpful if you're doing long range and they start charging at you, or if you're taking too much damage and you need to get out of there. But after every single wave, you'll get options like this. I typically go for might and that stuff. Anytime I get this option, I typically choose it because every single time I hit one of those red lines, it gives me bonus damage for the next red line I hit, as long as I'm holding down the trigger button. which I'll go ahead and like play through all the weapons on this. But you essentially go through all of these trials first, which is all of the things I'm gonna have to do real quick, and then you get to a boss in there, and after you beat so many bosses, is that you get your rewards. Dashing is also really helpful in one of these situations when you're trying to get away from someone. But it is annoying to have someone go long range to where you can't hit them. And dashing is also really helpful when it comes to trying to get closer to your enemy. And I'll show you what Rage does in a second. So Rage is an ability you can get on your sword. See the red lines on? Yeah, see the red lines? As long as I'm holding down my trigger and I hit one, it does all of that damage, as you just saw. And the more red lines I hit, more damage can go to it. And it doesn't automatically do it. Like, you have to be holding down your trigger. Because if you don't, it just doesn't work. So. And after every single boss, after 2 rounds, you get to choose different weapons. So you'll get to choose a different sword, or sometimes it'll be a battle axe, or, oh, what's it called? Some hammer. I don't know what they're called, sadly, but I really only play with the swords and shields and stuff because that's just, like, how I play, so. Also, while I'm doing this, please think of going to that subscribe button and hitting and liking this video, so I can make more content like this. And that dude in the back, he's like a miniature boss essentially. He also heals, which is gonna be a problem because I need to get to him real quick. That's what Rage helps with. He had a crap ton of health and I just depleted it all in like one swing. And I'll show you how to change like your colors and stuff of your swords and arrows and bows and shields and stuff. I'm pretty sure this one's the boss. Yeah, this one's gonna be a boss. And so after every single boss, your screen will go black and it'll teleport you to a different area. And typically, sometimes bosses will have different types, like troops spawning with it. And they all have different abilities. This dude's annoying because anytime he swings, it depletes your shield way faster. And he also will hit high and low, making it harder for you to concentrate on where he's trying to hit. See how my shield's starting to get smaller and smaller because he's hitting it? Eventually, it will break and it won't replace until, next weapon selection. I'm gonna lock in real quick so I can defeat him faster. But see, my shield is practically invisible right now. But it's still there, just barely. See, I typically go for the Paladin's broadsword. I've never really chosen these two before because the shield will keep me alive longer. Okay. I will save and quit real quick, and I'll choose a different. But if you want to get out of a match on your left hand controller, you'll click the 3 lines, and then it'll take you to this. You can click abandon game, and then, yeah, and then it'll take you back to home. And also while I'm here, if you want to change like your weapon color and stuff, you have to click all the way over here and keep going to weapon base, and you could choose that stuff for its accents. And if you want to go over here to change its actual color, you could choose any of these. I went ahead and I'm pretty sure I chose dark, just dark all around. These gems you only get one of each day as long as you complete a run. Because if you don't, then if you don't, then you just don't get them. I kind of like that. Ooh, the carbon. Yeah, carbon. Ooh, I really like the obsidian. Okay. Anyways, I'll go over here and see if I can upgrade anything. I can't. Okay. So now to run up another game, I'll go there, play solo. And then I'll choose something else. I'll try out the bow. This is the bow that I typically use, but I've seen someone try to go for like a machine gun build on the light crossbow, so I guess I'll try it. Now, every single bow is different. That one you have to draw back on. This one, it's you have, as soon as you shoot, your arrow's gonna disappear like that. You have to grab the bottom of this and pull back. So now it's charged again. And as you see, there's a timer for how fast it reloads, so I only get 2 arrows per shot on this. And if that's not full, then you can't shoot. And I'll go ahead and start up a match and show you a playthrough with just the crossbow. And if you're choosing a long range type weapon, a lot of the enemies will also be long ranged, so it gives you a fair advantage. But sometimes enemies with melee will come in. And anytime you have full arrows, even if you haven't used them, it still resets the counter, as you'll see as soon as you step in here. It'll reset the counter, so you can't just like auto shoot. And with long range, you won't be able to see the red lines because essentially every damage, like every shot that you do, is hitting a red line essentially. Like you're not gonna be able to see them, but that's just kind of how it works. And every single time they spawn, it could be while others are already in, or it could be while you're like fighting. And sometimes they could spawn 2 to 3 at a time, so it's not just that. And typically anytime I get these, I always go for infusions. And I will typically go for poison, but if you suck at aiming, you'll go for luck. Because it has as you can see, it'll seek through or for the target. But I typically choose poison, so all I have to do is shoot it once, and it does more and more damage over time. And you can also upgrade the same ability later on, like as long as it gives you that option. But yeah, all you have to do to start another round is run up in one of these, and it'll automatically start another round. But as you can see, now I'm doing some poison damage, which is going to be really, really helpful for later on once I max it out. But you see, all I have to do is hit it once, and it does 20 damage over time. And some enemies, if their health is golden, that means you're doing more and more damage to their overshield or armor. Which you'll get more abilities on the sword for armor and stuff. See, just like that. And I'll go ahead and do this. But the yellow health above an enemy is their armor or shield or whatever you want to call it. And you have to deplete that first, then you get to their actual health, and that's what all bosses will have. Some bosses will just heal, others will fly up and try to shoot you. Others will fall back and let their minions do the work. Now, if I could actually hit my shots, that'd be nice. I probably should have chose the luck arrows. Ow. And after each round, you will end up gaining health back. You have to upgrade on it, though, so you can gain more and more health back. But health is really, really important. Because if you end up dying, it won't reset you. It'll take you back to spawn, and then you have to fully restart. So if you're about to beat the final boss, you have to fully restart on it. I'm pretty sure this guy is going to be dead. Yep. I got infusions. Alright, so the enhanced, they're really good. And especially with the explosive arrows, because now look, it'll now poison like everyone in that area. So say you also chose electric. If you shoot and it explodes and there's enemies in that area, not only will they be hit with all of your other effects, they'll also be taking damage because of the fire. And I'm pretty sure this one's a boss, yeah. I get a melee boss? That's not good. And you can dash forwards and backwards. It's not only just front. So if they get too close for your liking, you could just like kind of back up. Alright, now typically I'll choose the hand crossbow because it's like the fastest shooting, but I'll try the heavy crossbow. I've never really played with the heavy crossbow, so I guess I'll do like a full run through until I die with this. To load the crossbow, grip with both hands and pull your hands close together. So just like, oh, that's not that bad. So yeah, I guess I'll play a full run through with only using the crossbow and nothing else. Because I've never really played with the crossbow before, so it's kind of a new experience for me. Because typically I'll do melee, and if it's not melee, then it's longbow to hand crossbow to assassin's bow. And the assassin's bow, all it is like each bow on both hands, and they have their own little arrows, so you're not using all of your arrows at once. But you'll typically get 2 to 3 waves of enemies before it lets you go on. But more rounds you complete, the harder the enemies will end up getting. As you can see, they're trying to spawn more melee types, but they can barely get to me in time, which is good. And sometimes they will end up spawning while you're fighting others, which can get really, really annoying and really, really crowded real quick. And I can't block with my bow like I could a sword. But instead you can just shoot the projectiles. Now those purple projectiles you could just easily dodge, but the darker red ones you're not allowed to. It doesn't let you. And now since I just chose shadow arrow, as soon as I fire this, another arrow will follow behind it, as you can see. But the shadow arrow doesn't follow up with all the effects, so it's not gonna explode and do all of that stuff. It'll only do damage. If I could hit my shots. But see, those you cannot dodge. I mean, you could try it, they just don't really work that well. Because it's essentially aimbot. He should be a goner. Now, you can't really go one hand with a crossbow because you need to manually reload it. And you reload it by taking your hand and pushing back like that. Hmm. Okay. So now I fire essentially 4 arrows at a time as long as it's like fully maxed because it'll shoot both my actual arrows and my 2 shadow arrows right behind them, just like that. And then the 2 regular arrows will go ahead and do its explosive and poison damage. And if you want to ever record a video or something while using, like, or while playing this game, you can do that simply by pressing down on your left and right Joy-Cons. And it'll pop up that guy right there. And it'll do a full 360 around you before it continues with your, before it just goes back and it stops recording. And see, it'll go directly towards your gallery, so you know where it is. And the clips are actually somewhat good, as you could see on my YouTube channel. Back away. There we go. Confusion. Ooh, okay. I'll go ahead and do Poison Arrow 2, because now it's going to do 30 damage for an extra, I'm pretty sure, 10 seconds. And so now I really only have to shoot them like once or twice and they're gone. Unless they're a boss, which I'm about to fight again. But you can go for different gameplay styles. Like you can go certain builds on these. And one of them, there was a dude that I played with yesterday. He essentially had a minigun style where all he would do is just rapid fire this, and it'll essentially just like auto kill him. But I do extra damage towards yellow armor or yellow health or whatever you want to call it. So it gives me an extra boost. It just doesn't apply that towards regular health. And I found that out the hard way because I thought it did, and I was just being reckless the very first time I played. And I just like charged at all of the enemies and just thought I could like one-shot them and stuff because of all the boost. Is not what happened. I'll try this. I don't know how much arrows it holds. Oh. How much arrows does this thing hold? 8? Oh, wow. Does it auto reload? Oh, it does, so I could just like one-hand this thing. That is amazing. See, I've never really played with crossbow before, so like this is all new. And like I said, different maps, different play styles. Like everyone's different when they play this game. And certain enemies do certain things. So he'll obviously charge. The dude that I shot back there, he mainly stays back and heals, but he'll also shoot at you. Just I'm pretty sure when there's 2 of them, they don't heal each other. Yeah, they don't. Alright, cool. Ooh. I'll do poison arrows again because that'll allow me to kill him way faster again. And as you can see with that ability, that lets me fire all my arrows at once as long as they're fully charged. So once that stops doing that, which I'm pretty sure my max arrows are 8, it'll let me like full charge and shoot all my arrows at once. But now I can just like kind of one-hand this, which is like okay. Yeah, see? And I don't think you can emote in this game. Like, the best you can really do is just kind of like mess with your weapon a little. But other than that, you can't really emote unless you're doing like a little victory dance of your own. And the cool thing about this game, I could leave my weapon all the way over there and I could just like look at him. And it just kind of appears out of thin air. He should be a goner, yep. And if you do end up falling off the edges, you'll instantly die. So there is that. So you do have to watch out for these edges. Only bad thing is bosses and enemies aren't the same. Like they'll get towards the edge, but their boundaries won't let them fall out. But I'm pretty sure this is like the last boss or something. And just because enemies have yellow health does not mean they're the boss. Because some bosses, like, that one's the boss, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that one's the boss. Dude behind it isn't. Though his arrows really do hurt. Oh no, this ain't the boss. Ow. Alright, that should be the end of him, yep. Ooh! Arrows do 10 more damage and they all hit enemies within a 4-meter radius. I'll choose that only because I have so much shadow arrows. And if they do 300% more of my weapon's basic damage, I should be able to get some good hits in. Yeah, but just like imagine like someone like Spartan looking and just like running up to you and just like pointing their finger at you like, "Oh yeah, man, what's that gonna do?" Oh shit. Like that'd kind of be cool. Ooh. Is he just like an auto hit? I'm pretty sure he's an auto hit. Stop emoting, man. My guy's just emoting on me. He's not even fighting. He's just emoting and I'm getting hit. Stop, it hurts. Once all my arrows are like here, you're gonna die. Ow! Stop that! Stop. I literally cannot miss this. See how much damage my arrows do now though? Ooh, okay, wait. I need to stop messing around. Whew. That was way too close. Like way too close. And after you do or play a certain amount of matches, it'll instantly send you back to spawn with all your rewards and stuff. But if you die while you're in battle and stuff and you don't have any revives whatsoever, you'll still get all of your rewards, you just won't get that one green gem. Like you have to complete all of this to get the one green gem each day. And the way you can get revives is simple. You go to that tortoise or turtle or whatever you want to call it at spawn, and you can upgrade it that way, and you can have a certain amount of respawns and stuff on them. I'm pretty sure the max is 3. Yeah, see, but my shadowed arrows do like 100 damage now, which is really nice. And healers cannot heal themselves unless it's a boss. Certain boss healers will be able to heal himself. Oh, shit, I died. So that, unfortunately, was my one and only revive. So if I do end up dying, it's going to be the end of this run. Cool. Okay, I'm pretty sure I can only max out the explosive one more time. Sorry if I'm going quiet. I'm trying to lock in so I don't die. See, but I gain health thanks to the turtle. Can run. So now I know where like my arrows can go up to like there. And while you're not in battle, your rushes will regenerate faster, but while you're in battle and there's still enemies and stuff spawning, your rushes and stuff take way longer to spawn back in, as you can see. I don't know why I used mine. Well, he hurts. Can't dodge. Oh, guys, this might be it. Yep. And as you can see, once you get sent back to spawn, like you'll still have all of your like rewards and stuff. It just won't show, and it'll take you straight back to spawn, just like this. But that wraps it up for. Huh? Anyways, that wraps it up for today. Thank you for watching, and please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button.